Get him, Nana. Get him! Damn it, Berserker. You happy? I have pigtails. Why? Why can't I do anything without, like... why am I even trying to play a game? Zelda! Why am I even... If you're satisfied with Ethelthred, then what sense is there in having this conversation? Why are you wasting your time on me?
Impatience. I am rather fond of impatient people. They are not as quick to resign themselves to circumstance and more eager to show initiative. Even if I do choose Ethelthred as my successor, I will still require loyal advisors.
Thank you, Abel.
The skills and knowledge you acquired in your former life may prove invaluable here, in the Coronis Expanse. One could not in good faith describe your background as one of exemplary service to the Imperium. However, I am intrigued by you in your past. To have survived and prospered between the letters of the law is a rare achievement among those in our circle. You are skilled in the art of taking risks and cutting corners. Trust me when I say that you will have sufficient opportunity to apply this talent for the good of the house. Moreover, your courage has made you far more famous than you yourself probably realize. True feats of heroism will forever live on in the annals of the Imperium and bring honor to the von Valancius line.
Did I hear you correctly? The Master of Whispers is related to you?
His kinship to me is most distant, as is yours. Nonetheless, he does bear the name von Valancius, even if he avoids using it publicly and, as such, strictly speaking, can be considered my heir. That door, however, is closed to him. Voigtvir's performance in his current role is satisfactory. Or it used to be, at least.
Thank you for clarifying. May I ask my questions now?
I have some time before the navigator gives the signal to initiate the void ship's translation out of the warp, and my presence is required on the bridge.
Navigator, translation. What are these things that you speak of?
Sometimes I forget that people without direct access to a ship's bridge may not know the first thing about how a void ship travels between the stars. Vessels such as this one are capable of leaving real space and traversing into the warp, an otherworldly dimension of cruel and unthinkable forces. By entering it under the protection of the Gellerfield, we shorten the route to our destination, crossing distances that would require hundreds of years in a matter of weeks instead, sometimes in days or even hours. That is how humanity spread across the galaxy. That is how we were able to build the Imperium, which spans millions of stars.
An incident took place on the officer's deck. Some servitors went berserk and attacked the crew.
Is that so? Perhaps the technomats were careless during maintenance. Or it could be the warp playing tricks on us in spite of the Gellerfield. Or perhaps there is something to all the stories about the ship being possessed after all.
Okay.
Lady Theodora, for the God Emperor's sake, surely you do not intend to start repeating idle rumors spread about by uneducated riffraff.
What's up, Cal?
Enough, Abelard. Such hearsay amuses me. Idira eagerly retells me everything she learns from the whispers of her unseen advisors. This ship is thousands of years old. It has enough hidden nooks, malfunctioning cogitators, and unused compartments to make ignorant folks speak of specters dwelling inside the bulkheads and plotting against those who
Nice,
yet
man.
live.
Where is your ship headed?
The Rycad system, the domain of rogue trader Winterscale, one of my peers and rivals. Besides me, 2 other rogue traders exist in the Corona's expanse, and each of them possesses resources comparable to mine. Perhaps you will one day assist House von Valancius in surpassing both of them in affluence and splendor. I set the course for Rycad on the demand for a very specific reason. Perhaps I shall yet apprise you of the purpose for this voyage, but now is not the time.
What are my current responsibilities?
Observe, learn, absorb. It will take time for you to find your bearings aboard this vessel and in your new position. Eventually, I will find a post that suits you as I did for Edelthrad. Until that time comes, consider yourself my
Nice
aid.
cow. Gracious Lord Captain, surely there are ways I can prove myself a worthy heir.
You can start by not asking questions of this sort. I have no need for sycophants. I will draw my conclusions when an opportunity to prove yourself arises. As for when you will be granted that opportunity, only the God Emperor knows.
No more questions.
In that case, I shall head to...
Nice, Wabba.
Disturbances reported on the adjacent decks.
How's your day going, man?
If the need arises, protect the new blood. It is possible that the chance to prove your worth may present itself sooner than you may have anticipated.
I finished the Silent Hill on Thursday. Fuck. Who are these asshats? I didn't leave the game on overnight, Wabba.
To arms! Surrender to the dark powers!
Don't touch me.
No, I quit out of the game. I never. I
in my time.
didn't play it overnight, Wabba.
Weapon at the ready.
What the fuck?
Imperium!
I am your doom.
Pain and duty.
No, I did not. Use cover to avoid enemy attacks. Cover that a character can hide behind are marked with a shield or a shield with a skull. When standing close to them, the character will automatically take up an advantageous position. In this case, the chance the enemy attacks will hit the cover and not the character behind them increases. So we want to shoot. And then move here. How do I move? Can I move after shooting? Oh, so he can't. Okay.
I serve the ruinous powers!
I serve the ruin.
Get him, Nana. These guys are die pretty easy, it seems like, but
I took care
whoa,
of
this dude got 2 attacks.
My faith strengthens me. To the heretics!
Did I miss? Okay.
Such is the will of chaos.
I love those little plastic squares that have poison in them, but
Protect me. That's gonna hurt.
Stay vigilant.
Damn, son. I bought it a couple months ago or last month with a bunch of all the DLC and stuff, so.
Mort, take a team with you and clear a path to the transport line. Do not let a single whoreson survive. Didn't bat an eye when that scum burst onto the deck, huh? Not bad.
It was
I have
great,
seen
Luker.
many
It's
an
short,
officer
but it's
panicked
great.
at the sight of combat on the upper decks. The false sense of security offered by their position makes them that much more vulnerable to the harsh realities of warp travel.
What is happening?
From what we have seen, I can speculate that we are dealing with some variety of madness induced by warp travel. Such episodes are not uncommon among voidsmen who have found themselves outside the boundaries of real space, though such episodes seldom spill onto
That's
other
crazy,
decks.
Nana.
The casters are not working, or have been sabotaged. Either the warp is toying with us, or someone went to great lengths to cut the ship's communications. I will need a direct channel to the engine seer prime before I can get a sense of what we are up against. Whatever it may be, keep your weapons at the ready. I imagine it will be some time before we no longer need them.
How could there be armed people in the ranks of the crew who would dare attack the Lord Captain?
Trust me, this is hardly surprising for a crew of thousands. The lower decks are a fertile environment for discontent and heresy, no matter how one tries to incinerate any seed.
I barely
before it
dreamed,
can take
Nana.
root.
I haven't had
All
remembered
it
a
takes
dream all
is
year.
A hint of warp influence to cloud the minds of normally obedient cattle.
Sporadic riots on the lower decks never reach these compartments. No, the tumults of
I
the
wish,
rabble
Luker.
are always contained within their own territory. This is too well organized. It is spreading too rapidly. Possibly. Quite likely. We will investigate at a later time. Right now, we need to isolate the affected compartments and try to assess the situation.
What are your orders?
Mort has gone on ahead to clear a path for us. If you want to make yourself useful, go after him and see if the Arch-Militant requires aid. And be quick about it.
Lusty! What's up, buddy? Brother! Brother!
Always have a backup plan.
Does it say where I need to go? Brother. It's good to see you, Lusty.
The heretic's body is riddled with holes. An improvised single shotgun lies smoking in his hand.
Let us know, dog.
Brother. Brother.
Thank Providence.
It's doing
you are
good,
alive and
Lusty.
well.
I just finished up Silent Hill 2.
Always on time, eh, Coonrad? The moment we finish chasing the riffraff around the deck, you show up. Always just after the fighting's done. You could set your chrono by it.
Sweater armor.
Mort, hold yourself together.
What, did the Lord Captain send you to chivvy us along? We're all done here. I'll report right away.
Mort pulls his box from his belt and hurriedly reports on the situation. Sweater +2.
Master of Whispers, what is happening on my ship? The Voxnet is silent. The Voxmaster is not responding. Armed assailants have stormed the officer's deck, and my arch-militant just destroyed several more heretics on the way here. Is this a severe case of warp madness? Have some of my crew lost their minds and forgotten who they are and whom they serve? Report!
Report!
I have not yet received word from the Engineerium regarding any Geller field failures, but communications were already unstable half an hour ago, and now they have ceased altogether. Whatever the cause may be, the consequences are spreading fast. I am receiving scattered reports from the middle decks, and the only voxcasts from the lower bays are one-way heretical gibberish. That the madmen have already reached the officers' deck suggests that this outrage was planned in advance. Perhaps this is an organized mutiny.
Mutiny, but who would attempt a mutiny here in the warp?
Lunatics, fools, heretics.
Heretics!
This ship houses thousands upon thousands of people. Pernicious thoughts and warp-induced delusions could have tainted any one of them. It is a difficult notion to accept, but such risks are inescapable. First, we have to confirm that the bridge and the navigator's sanctum are secure. And I have the means to do both things at once.
Her expression changes as her eyes flash ominously.
Edelthrad, where is he?
What's up, Ice
I
Bunny?
must know if he is unharmed. A psyker aboard a ship that is potentially being assailed by the warp could pose a greater threat to himself and others than a whole army of madmen with improvised weapons.
I tried to locate him, but the last thing known about his movements is that he arrived on Transitional Deck 18.
Good to see you, Ice.
Blast it! Master of Whispers, find Edelthrad immediately. Seneschal, locate Tlas and the Sister of Battle. Both are to remain at my side. Arch-Militant, with me. I must go to my study. And it appears we might encounter heretics along the way.
If I may, Lord Captain. Transitional Deck 18 is at the heart of the disturbance, and if our goal is to bring Edelthrad back, I could use some support. After all, I'm not as adept at directly confronting enemies of the House as the esteemed Arch-Militant, and taking into consideration Edelthrad's psyker powers.
Oh no. So we're gonna go level 18?
Then it's settled. Find Edelthrad and bring him here. In whatever state you find him. This elevator leads to restricted compartments such as my personal chambers and the bridge. Do not let me down. I require you both. Do you understand?
I shall do everything in my power.
Not everything in your power. You will do as I say.
Yeah,
I'll
I
have
get
your
that,
heads
Ice.
if you
It's
fail.
been a
Is
hard
that
week.
clear? Then move out. Mort, come.
What double doors is she talking about? Was this? Oh, she meant down there. Okay.
Are you ready to head to 18? It is a long walk, and you do not even have proper gear.
You had better not fail me. The Lord Captain made it clear that relying on you is fraught with risk.
I see you have quickly earned Lady Theodora's trust, if she is already sharing her closely guarded secrets with you. But that is no longer relevant.
With a pop and a sharp crackle, something hits you in the abdomen, and you're consumed by unbearable, gut-wrenching pain. What the fuck? Oh, so he was a traitor. I promised you a special destiny, Akeda. It was time to fulfill it. No, it didn't. The sweater plus 2 did not help. And he hit me in the back, not the abdomen.
Careful,
Oh,
careful.
no, Ice.
Be gentle with our guest.
That's not nice.
There's an
Ice.
important
I
mission
said,
to complete
I think I
during
said
our
not
visit to
nice.
the Warren
It
Chamber.
sound, yeah.
And for that,
Ugh,
I
I'm sorry,
need
friend.
him breathing. Oh, you are back with us, I see. Delightful.
Voidver, you two-faced scum, you are the one behind this mayhem.
How perceptive of you. I'll help you with the next insight. I need you here for your blood. You have the option to share it voluntarily, or I will
I ain't giving you my
squeeze
blood,
it out
bitch.
of you myself. We are in the anteroom of the Warren Chamber, this void ship's most hallowed vault. There, beyond those gates, lies the relic that gives Theodora all of her power. The sacred Warrant of Trade. Only one obstacle remains on my path to obtaining it. The gates of the chamber are guarded by the Sentinel, an ancient device that will only open the door to a true heir of the dynasty. I expected to do this part myself, but never mind. You will offer your blood to the Sentinel.
Why is it inbred? Is it your blood? Is your blood too thin for the Sentinel?
On the contrary, the Warp's blessing has raised me too much above your
I like the
heart,
sweater, Luffy.
Von Valencius. The Sentinel refused to submit to me. But you can help. After all, isn't that what family is for?
What sorry, pathetic excuse do you even have for your apostasy? Stasi? You sordid, wretched piece of grok shit?
Wretched? What do you know about wretchedness? Theodora's cur. Are you hoping to buy a grain of her indulgence with your blind loyalty? Oh, I know this delusion.
Apostasy, that's
But
what it is?
thank the gods, it no longer has power over me. Humanity can rot. I no longer serve mortal kind. Once my work is done, I'll make that pompous wench, Von Valencius, watch as I sacrifice her entire dynasty and commit their fate to the gods. And you will be the instrument by which I will accomplish this righteous act.
The blade flashes in the dim light and drops of blood appear on your palm. For a brief moment, you feel nauseous, your head is spinning, and then the quiet whispers begin to flood your mind. More and more sourceless voices echo each other, drowning out your own thoughts, replacing them with a single urge. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Go to the gate. Fight the voice in your head. Get out! I am not your puppet. The voices in your head giggle and mock your desperate outcry. You feel the intruding influence, forcing you on your feet and making you take a step towards the gates looming in the center of the chamber. Oh, okay, I will. I didn't see that. This one? In the gateway, you see a cogitator.
In the gateway arch you see a cogitator with a human likeness built into the front panel. As you approach, the torso twitches slightly. This is a servitor, an obedient automaton created from a lobotomized human being. The Sentinel turns its head to you, one of its eye sockets lighting up with two ember-like irises.
Tech, you succeeded. Okay.
You carefully inspect the design of the gate cogitator. What immediately catches your eye is the strange alloy that was used as material for the machine's components,
Is
some
that
of
a
which
setting?
are unfamiliar
True?
to you. You suspect this might be some kind of Archaeotech relic.
Yeah.
The servitor on the gate begins to move. With the screeching and groaning of metal, it leans forward, closer to you. Its lower jaw opens with a drawn-out shriek, much wider than the jaw of a living human could. The serviture's mouth is filled with sharp metallic fangs that glint in the dim light. The vid screen to the right of you lights up, showing strings of mysterious symbols on a green background. A whisper runs through your consciousness, insisting, demanding sacrifice. The voices that filled your head after Voipa wounded you with his blade did not go away. On the contrary, their source coiled itself into a tight knot somewhere in the depths of your mind.
Yeah, it's a mod, Pitsy, yep.
The serviture looks noticeably different from the ones you are used to. Its skin covering is stitched together with copper thread, and it has metal hinges in place of the standard joints. It seems that the creators of the Sentinel did everything to ensure that the service life of this unit would be much longer than that of ordinary automatons. You look around in hopes of finding at least something that could work as a weapon. Your search is in vain. The chamber anteroom is completely empty and in perfect working condition, nary a broken panel or a protruding piece of rebar in sight.
Did you forget something? I suggest you hurry.
The Sentinel's jaws clamp around your hand, puncturing your skin and sinking into your flesh. A few dark drops fall into the serviture's throat, and immediately you hear humming as the servo motors start up and the pumps stir into motion. The vid screen of the cogitator flickers. Several long minutes pass. The Sentinel's jaws remain closed, and you are beginning to feel sick. Perhaps if you were to lean against the gate, you could catch your breath, maybe even close your eyes and pretend none of this ever happened.
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance?
High levels of caustic humors. The subject is in a state of heightened stress. Do you require assistance? You do not understand where this quiet voice is coming from, crackling like static. Is it the Sentinel? The cogitator? Is it a figment of your weary mind? Whichever it is, you can clearly hear every word.
Yes, I do require assistance.
Pain shoots through your head and subsides just as quickly. It would seem the entity coiled in your consciousness does not have the ability to do any real harm.
Request accepted. Initiating defense protocol.
Oh, fuck yeah! Initiating.
There is still another way.
Okay. Initiating.
The enormous gates match the importance of the thing they protect. The massive doors are made of heavy metal and look impregnable.
Keep your wits about you.
Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade to the paragon of humanity unbroken by adversity, to walk bravely first in the darkness of night and reclaim what was lost. To triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns. God damn, it's so fast! I hate fast fucking dialogue like that.
Escort the child of the house to safety. Distance from the current location to the nearest arsenal. Initiating situational calculations.
Yeah, I know, Lucky. Lusty, I'm like, why is this thing so fucking fast?
Voxcast frequencies disrupted. Initiating setup.
Voxmaster, restore communication with the navigator's sanctum. I am trying to contact the bridge. If anyone can hear me on this frequency, regroup all available forces and head to the upper decks at once. I repeat, regroup all available forces and head...
Communication protocols breached. Signal latency assessment unavailable. Unable to establish two-way connection.
I mean, yeah, Lusty, it's... Well, that and ADHD, and I'm trying to pay attention to chat, so sometimes I miss the beginning of it.
Temporary obnubilation following acute stress. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel. Mobile unit of the Warren Sentinel, designed as a personal escort of the child of the house and a means of communicating with the rogue trader's subjects. Mobile unit standing by. Middle and upper decks. Assuming the probability of safe placement in areas of concentration of armed units. Calculating. To prevent unauthorized units from breaching the warrant chamber, preemptive sealing must be initiated. The mobile unit will start executing the received order immediately after the safety of the warrant is secured.
As the game's story unfolds, you will see notifications at the top of the screen indicating the status of your current objective has been updated and that new information has been added to your journal. You can open the journal by pressing J or clicking left mouse button on the notification at the top of the screen. Journal entries help you keep track of current events and guide your character in their journey. The quest tab tracks the progress of the main story. Here you can find the information about any quests that you have accepted in their current status. Use a journal to help yourself understand where to go on the next steps of your adventure. The rumors and contracts section also contain important information. You'll learn more about them later.
Let it be known that by my will and by the true words of this document, I appoint this person to be the bearer of the warrant of trade, and bestow upon them and their dynasty the great mission.
Rise to the top or get left in the
To triumph over nightmares untold, to hold boldly the reins of fate, to walk steadily the road of thorns, through pain to greatness.
Okay.
Master! Whatever are you doing in the warrant chamber? How did you... Throne preserve me! What is the meaning of this?
Conrad Voigtver is a traitor. When we parted ways on the officer's deck, he stunned me somehow and brought me here.
What?
He intended to take revenge on Theodora for something, and trying to reach the warrant was somehow part of the plan.
Oh, holy God, Emperor! I presume he is the one responsible for the mutiny. And, Master, I wish to remind you that you are to refer to the Lord Captain as Lady Theodora.
Why don't we leave matters of etiquette for another time?
Absolutely. With the Lord Captain's permission, I shall give you an hour-long lecture on how making use of proper addresses corresponds to showing due faith in the God Emperor's anointed. For now, however, we have more pressing matters on our hands. You're in a bad way. I can treat your wounds. I have a Medicaid kit with me. And, for the love of the throne, now is not a good time to be walking around the decks without means of self-defense.
Sniper rifle,
Here.
armor, medkit. While fighting, your character can lose some of their wounds. Your character has suffered an injury after being attacked by Conrad. This happens when a character receives damage that exceeds 50% of their maximum wounds within one round. When a character initially suffers an injury, it is considered a fresh injury during the first 3 rounds. Once 3 rounds have passed, a fresh injury becomes an old injury. A fresh injury can be healed using a med kit without passing any skill tests. Old injuries can be healed with a med kit, but they require the main character administering the treatment to pass a Medicaid skill test to succeed. Using med kits to restore wounds and heal injuries. Note, when a character loses all their wounds, they fall unconscious. Once the combat is over, the wounds of all party members are replenished automatically, but any injuries that may have sustained remain. Those can be healed with a med kit. Med kits can only be used by characters who have field medic feature base skill Medicaid, or have taken Medicaid skill advancement at least once. Whenever a character uses a medic kit in battle, Medicaid skill test determines the number of wounds that will be restored as a result. Abelard can heal your character's injury. Click left mouse button on Abelard's portrait, select the med kit on the panel at the bottom left of the screen, and then use it on your character. Okay. So,
What advice do you seek? This wound will make a fine scar.
I'll make sure to return the favor one day.
okay. So I for inventory, Zeke's favorite. Okay. So we want to go to us. So these all different inventory sets or whatever.
That is a noticeable improvement. Now you're prepared for the trials ahead.
Doesn't Zeke hate it? Zeke hates it.
The lower decks are teeming with heretics instigating the rabble to revolt. But that is the least of our problems. The ship's enforcers are
Especially in a
rounding
game
up
like
the
this where you're not
scoundrels
doing
and
things
suppressing the
quickly, I don't think it
resistance.
matters as much.
The situation on the middle decks is much worse, although strike teams have already been dispatched there. All communication with the bridge and the engineering bay was lost. So, apart from scattered voxcasts, we have no information to go on. But that is not the worst of it all. All these jolts and shaking are most alarming. These are signs that the navigator and the master helmsman are having difficulty translating the ship out of the warp and into real space. I fear that they may have already lost control. We must
nice,
reach
then
the
I'll have to check it
navigator's
out.
sanctum and get a handle on the situation. If we can manage
Yeah.
that, some aboard this vessel may yet survive. I am no helmsman, or God Emperor preserve me navigator. However, I've spent my entire life aboard void ships equipped with warp drives, and I know that portents such as these do not bode well. It could be that the Geller field has faltered. Perhaps the navigator was struck
I
down
get
by
it,
warp
man.
corruption and is fighting for the last shreds of his humanity as we speak. If we get thrown off course, we will be
Yep.
forever lost in the warp. Naturally, we would likely not have long to live in that scenario. But I will not resign myself to such an outcome just yet.
How did you find me?
You sent me a Vox message. Specifically, a Vox cast on the officer's frequency, which I had the good fortune to receive. You mean to say you did no such thing?
I think the Warrant Sentinel may have sent that message. It appeared when I opened the chamber.
Warren Sentinel? The Lord Captain barely ever ventures down to the chamber, and I was at her side only once or twice when she did. And I did not see anything of the sort. The Warren Chamber is an ancient and rather sacred mechanism that the ship's tech priests treat with the utmost reverence. I assume that whatever it is that you did, you must have activated certain processes and caused the Sentinel to awaken. But then, why did none of it happen when Lady Theodora did the same?
What can we expect to find in the Navigator's Sanctum?
During warp transit, the Sanctum is closed to all who are not involved in traversing the Empyrean. And for good reason. For the Navigator to open their third eye and perceive the way, the Sanctum must be bathed in the energies of the Immaterium. Only a Navigator can withstand such an ordeal. For the rest of us, any contact with the warp is fraught with perils such as loss of sanity, spontaneous mutations, and death.
I heard one of Theodora's Voxcasts.
Lady Theodora's. Which one? The last one I received was about the Navigator's Sanctum, and that was a good while ago. In any case, let us hope that the Lord Captain is well, and safely in charge of the ship's defense. In the meantime, we must do all we can to prevent the ship from veering off course.
For the Imperium and humanity, lead the way. Sen Shao.
Come.
To arms, loyal sons and daughters of the God Emperor! Fight the heresy and corruption that threatens to consume our home, and with all your might, destroy those who have dared!
The Lord Captain is calling her crew to battle. Which means the Vox networks are set up for broadcast transmission, not message exchange. Splendid. While the rogue trader inspires proper resolve to fight in her subjects, you and I shall prove that her trust in us is well deserved. Onward.
Killing all the bad guys.
Close ranks.
Why do they get to go first? That's bullshit.
Out of my way!
The combat abilities of your character differ depending on their archetype. Available abilities are located on the bottom right of the screen on the abilities panel. To read the full description of the ability, hover your cursor over its icon, or click right mouse button on it. Click left mouse button on the icon to use the ability. Okay. So we want to do... those look pretty much the same.
It was inevitable.
Characters just land a critical hit that deals increased damage equal to the character's critical damage stat. Characters' critical damage is set to 150 of their normal damage by default. However, certain talents, effects, and abilities can increase it. Certain weapons have their own critical damage stat, which is added to the character's total stat value during attack. Okay.
I won't stand for it.
Your companion is a warrior Abelard, specialized in melee combat and drawing the enemy's attack. Charge is a unique warrior ability that works only when they are using a melee weapon, is not considered an attack action. Use charge to close the distance between you and the enemy and deal damage. Click left mouse button on the abilities icon and choose the direction to charge in. Okay, cool. So...
I'm not interested. I'd rather not. That's not the Seneschal's job. I'm not interested. Someone else can do this.
Strike, please.
I will do my duty.
Okay. Why didn't it do anything? What? What the fuck?
Death to the weak!
You son of a bitch.
Chaos guides me!
I've faced worse than this. A temporary setback.
Dude shot his own dudes.
I'll make it happen. Don't let your guard down.
Okay.
Indeed.
He parried it? God damn it.
Reduced to dust.
Okay.
Chaos guides me!
What's up, Jade?
My ears are ringing.
We watched the Ghost concert in Discord last night. It was fun.
just a minor setback.
Okay.
It's as good as done. Another enemy down.
Okay.
It will be done. I took care of this one.
Got both. Yeah.
Victory is imminent.
Yeah. Okay. Experience points. Okay. Clown arrows. Okay. Okay. So at this archetype rank, it is possible to increase the character's skills. The higher the skill score, the easier it will be to pass corresponding skill tests. Is that the only skill I can get? Yeah, I finished it up on Thursday, Pat. Is that the only skill I can get? True or OJA? How you doing, Pat? Are you done for like 2 weeks now? Oh, you have to work tonight too. Oh no. But yeah, so it goes like this and then choose skill, right? Yeah, I know, but it's... Do I have to... Okay. How do I pick it, though? What? I don't get... Oh, okay. So we have logic or tech use. Which one's better? Looks like this one's better. See, gives us okay. How do I accept it? Oh, it didn't look... Okay. So we want toughness, strength. So I kind of want to give him toughness so he's like more of a tank. Does that sound right? Okay, cool. So that's everything, right?
I always keep my options open.
Okay. Here's a map of your void ship. It consists of several parts between which you can travel. Some parts are not yet available, but over time your character will be able to access them. Click left mouse button on the active part of the void ship to move there. I'm just figuring it out. That's all.
The navigator's sanctum is directly along the passageway. I'm great.
And so, he will enter the halls of the blinded guide and witness the radiance of the final dawn through the cracks and fall victim to a whim of fate.
Master, watch your head.
Damn.
Idira, would it be too much to ask that you phrase your soothsayings plainly for once? That was too close.
How do I do that? How do I get to read it
Sorry,
all
old
true?
Man. The voices
Oh, okay,
are
just
so
click on it.
loud I can't even hear myself. They shriek, they sing, they... Oh, Abelard, how they sing!
This is Idira Tlas, personal psyker and diviner of Her Ladyship Theodora von Valancius. Idira?
Okay.
I'm not drunk, old man. I'm suffering the effects of the warp that is seeping through these walls. I see the ship's fate. To die in the waves of the
That's how a lusty
Immaterial,
bard does it.
fall under the burning
Singing.
rays of the final dawn. And in the roaring blaze, I see a figure standing. Who is it? I have no answer.
The entity in your consciousness shrinks and crawls in deeper, its claws scraping against the walls of your mind, as if the presence is trying to hide from the seer standing before you.
The voices
divine are you?
from beyond the threshold whisper to me. Sometimes their murmurs are clear, they grant insight. Sometimes they drive me mad. But I am patient. I know how to listen.
Oh no, Jade,
and
all those
discern.
problems you were having.
But now, with this clamor around me, too many voices, too loud.
Stream teams are fucking shady as shit most of the time anyways, Jade.
And you are von Valancius, one of Lady Theodora's heirs. Well then, we finally meet.
Officer's frequency. To all who can hear me, those with a weapon in their hands are to gather on the officer's deck at once. I repeat, gather on the officer's deck at once and prepare
They
to
just
launch
prey on
a
people who are starting this stream to get like numbers and
That's
shit.
Ethelthrat. Oh, Emperor's Providence. The other heir lives as well. Quickly, we must head to...
Not so fast, old man. If we drown in the warp, Lady Theodora's heirs won't be any good to us. If Ethelthrat's like me and hasn't yet surrendered his mind or body to the mercy of the warp, then he can still hold on a little longer without us.
Blast it. You're right. First, we need to deal with what is happening here.
What are you doing here?
The whispers called me. The ones I could make out among all the screams and screeches. Those who are rocking this boat hit us where it hurt.
The Pat stream team. You don't need stream Pat.
Our guide through the warp. Other whispers called me to the engineerium, but it was too late. I heard the cry of our master Cog, and the silence that followed.
I gotta go pee real quick. I'll be right back. I needed a break up. fuck out of there, Jade. I like it's always people who are trying to take away people's rights are like, yeah, we could be friends.
What? You don't mean the Engineer Prime is...
Said, without a doubt. And the voices wail, heralding countless nightmares, cackling at each soul among the hundreds that are now joining the warp. The shriek from the Navigator's sanctum was louder than the rest. And it's better that we saved the Navigator than some lever puller from a cooling module or a cook from the middle decks. Oh no. No. Nothing is well about him. Can't you feel the chill crawling on your skin? The eyes watching you? The warp ice has already encased the bulkheads. What follows is calamity. But we're not just going to stand here and take it, are we? The state of things in here suggests there's a navigator around. Maybe one who's crippled or at death's door, but still kicking. And since our skin hasn't peeled off our faces just yet, his third eye must be closed. At worst, it's a little roughed up. So what are we moping around for? Let's go protect that noble mutant while we're still alive.
Okay.
A piece of pipe left a noticeable dent in the floor.
Is there money to be made?
I bought the game on sale on Steam with the season pass.
You're doomed to fortune. All of you will bleed.
No. No. Where's me? No, god damn it. Idea is a psyker and operative. As an operative, she can study opponents and identify their weaknesses, and her psyker abilities allow her to deal damage to them. Analyze enemies in an operative ability which applies the exploit effect to all enemies within the operative's light of sign at the start of each of the operative's turns. The operative can also use the ability to against specific enemy to inflict several stacks of this effect. The higher the operative's intelligence bonus is, the more exploit stacks will be inflicted. Whenever the operative hits a target with an exploit applied to them, the attack deals additional damage. The amount of extra damage depends on the target's number of exploit stack and then the operative's perception. Ideria is armed with a special staff that allows a psyker to unleash psychic powers against enemies. In the future, you will encounter staves that only a psyker versed in certain discipline can use. For example, you might find a staff that lets a psyker use Inferno, but to do so, they must first have the pyromancy psychic discipline learned.